Welcome back, brilliant scholars. So today we are going to be talking about the second body paragraph of our essay. But first I would like to discuss the different types of supporting details that you can use for your own benchmark essay. So you have this reference that you have seen before. You all have access to this reference, and it's just a review of body paragraphs and supporting details. Now, I'm going to skip a little ways. Now, what are specific, concrete, real-world examples? So, all examples that are used should be used to prove the reason you gave in your main idea sentences. What are the main idea sentences? So the main idea sentences are these very first sentences of each paragraph. So what are real-world concrete examples that you could use to support those main idea sentences? Well, first we have the personal example. So this is a story from your life or from the life of someone you know. Having a personal investment in what you are writing can make you sound more credible if you have had your own personal experience or know somebody who's had a personal experience. The second type is pop culture reference examples. Now, you may not quite understand what pop culture reference means, but I'm going to explain. So we have music. Music is a pop culture reference. Let's just say that you have a favorite musical artist who has done whatever it states within your main idea sentence. You can use that as a supporting example. Or if they wrote some type of song that would go along with what you're talking about, you can use it. Art. If you are an artist or know an artist and have seen some type of art piece that conveys what it is that you are talking about, you can use that. Literature and books. So if you've read a book or magazine, you are able to use whatever is going on in either your nonfiction book, which means real, true story, or if a fictional character has gone through something that would make your point, you could discuss that. Movies. I'm sure many of you have seen multiple movies. If someone in a movie that you've watched could help support what you're stating, then you could use that reference, and all you would have to do is give the movie title and then explain what the character in that movie has gone through. Fashion. So we could talk about people within fashion or fashion in general. If it explains what your main idea is stating, use it. Same with dance. Technology, television, and radio. So if in your favorite TV show, there's characters that have gone through what it is that you're talking about, you can use that. If something is going on in technology, you could use that as well, or radio. News, sports, and politics are a big one. So if you see something in the news that you want to discuss that would drive your point home, that would be good. Sports as well. You could use teams or prominent people in sports, or talk about, teamwork or even learning new things in a sport. That would be great. Politics as well. Games and media. Many of you are on social media or play video games. Use those as a knowledge base to help support yourself and what you are saying. The third and final one is historical examples. So if you're a history buff and have knowledge of historical events, and those events could possibly help support what it is that you are claiming, then use those. If you know of a historical figure and their life or something that they did that could support what you're claiming, then that would be good. The reason that we use real world concrete examples is because it helps us to sound more credible to our audience. Each time you write, unless you're writing in your own personal journal, you are writing to an audience. Somebody is going to read what you've written, and that is why it's important in your introduction to engage your reader so that they will want to read what you have to say. Using real life examples helps you to sound more believable and helps your audience to know that you know what you are talking about. If you just make up a story or give some type of hypothetical, it kind of makes your credibility go away. So, in our second supporting example here, we see a transition word, transitional phrase. I'm going to highlight this in this green. So we have our transition word. For example, there's multiple transition words you can use, transitional words or phrases you can use to introduce an example, but we see, for example, here, in the book Schoolyard, a boy named Gregory is put into a group of kids for a school project. Gregory is used to being left out, so he naturally doesn't say anything. He tries to do the work himself, but he soon realizes that he would have to talk to the other kids in his group in order to complete the project. When Gregory finally gathers the courage to talk to the group, he realizes that the other kids were nice and begins to make friends. Throughout the project, Gregory learns more with his new friends than trying to learn it by himself. Activities that require group effort helps with social skills. So, we see a real-world concrete example in the use of a book, once again, which is part of our pop culture reference. They discuss what happened in the book that helps support this main idea number 2. So the main idea number 2 is the best trigger would be experience because it helps with social skills. We see Gregory and how he is learning within a group and developing those social skills. We see this as it ends here. It says, throughout the project, Gregory learns more with his new friends than trying to learn it by himself. Activities that require group effort helps with social skills. So this kind of sums up and reinforces our main idea. This example reinforces our main idea because the whole purpose of giving the example is to support our main idea, which ultimately our main ideas, these two here, support this controlling idea, which is what we are trying to prove throughout our essay. That is why the controlling idea is absolutely necessary for any good essay. I hope that this video helps you. In the next video, we will discuss conclusions. Have a great day.